we're going to be introducing her name. She's the beautiful Joy Gihana. So her degree, I'm just going to give you a little bit about her bio and what she's been doing in the past few years. She has a degree in law from the National University of Rwanda, and she's currently pursuing a master's in counseling psychology from York University, and she's currently doing that online as well. On top of that, she's a very proud mother of 3 amazing young children, and she combines her studies with a full-time job as well as a caseworker for Child and Family Services with the government of Alberta. So she has her plate full and a half. So today she's going to talk about pursuing graduate studies when you have family responsibilities, when you have a full-time job. Because to be honest, in the environment that we're living in, we're immigrants. I'm going to say the way we did, right? So we have to fight. We have to be able to have an income, have a life, and be able to take care of our families at the same time, right? We cannot ignore that fact. Some of us are lucky to have parents who will be able to pay for that, and some of us are not that lucky, but we have to pursue and fight for that, right? So she's going to talk about handling all of that and being able to have school as well and add that on yourself. So welcome, Joy.
Thank you. I would prefer to stand. You guys are doing a great job. Didier mentioned, unfortunately, we do not have as much people in the room. But you know what? If 2 or 3 people could just be inspired just for today, that would be good enough. So I'm not worried about the number of people. I'm just glad you guys made it out of your busy schedules, and I hope we inspire you, or you take 1 thing or 2 from this whole thing. I just want to say that everybody's a genius. I've been given this platform to probably just share my story. I know everybody has a story. It's not because I'm, better than you guys, but it's just humbling to be in front of you. So I want to say everybody's a genius. But of course, if you're to ask a fish, or if you're to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will spend the rest of its life thinking, oh, I'm dumb, or I cannot be able to do this. So everybody seated in this room, I believe and I trust that you can get somewhere, wherever you want. Human ability is so enormous. We have so much ability within us that sometimes we do not realize. But hey, I'm not gonna say that if I can do it, you can do it. But I hope my story inspires you, and you take an idea or 2. So my journey, when I came to Canada, I had just finished school, worked I think for a year or 2 in Rwanda, and then found myself in this amazing but challenging part of the world. I was by myself. My husband was still back home. I was pregnant and then gave birth to this gorgeous son, and I had to think about what is next. From coming from home, I thought definitely, I knew 100% that I have to come to school. But of course, when you get here, the reality is different. You have to work, you have to take care of your family. It's a lot of things that just coincide with your desire to go back to school. But I did not give up. Now, I was lucky enough to, and I would say lucky enough to get a good, but not so much of a good job. But I was lucky enough to get a job here at the Mennonite Center, which was my first job in Canada. And why I'm mentioning that is that I had several reasons for me not to go back to school. But I decided to go back to school. One of the reasons why I would have opted not to go back to school was that I had a job. Most of us go to school, honestly speaking, to get a better job or a good job that will enable you to, to live a better life, right? Comparing myself to the people that were around me, and I'm not trying really to brag or to be, I'm not trying to show off, but I'm just trying to be realistic. So comparing myself to the people that were around me, it would have been so easy for me to, to sit back and I'm like, I have it all. Why do I have to go back to school? Second, I I was a graduate. Some people go to school and they think like, they tell to themselves, I just want to graduate. I just want to have a degree and, you know, gain the social status. Yes, I'm educated. So I had gone to school. Third, I was married. I could easily sit back and say, hey, my husband will take care of this. And plus, I had a child. I'm like, I would have given myself a good reason not to go back to school because I'm taking care of this little one in this world, who I brought to this world. But no, I did not do that. Now, reasons why I went back to school. One, first of all, there's where all of us we want to be. There's a place we want to be in 2, 3, 4, 10 years to come. So 5 years or 10 years, I want to be this, and then I had to pull back, like kind of pull it back and say, okay, if I want to get there, what do I need to do right now? Alice, how many minutes do I have now? So if five. So if I have to, you know, say why I wanted to go back to school is because I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to, one time, to have my own clinic. So I think to myself, okay, if that is about to happen, these are the steps I need to take. So I had to like kind of rewind and bring it back to the current situation that I was in. And then I started looking into my options. So another second reason why I went back to school is because I don't want to settle for less. Some of us come to this. The other day I was watching Paul Kagame talking to the youth in Texas, and he says, you guys come to this country and you enjoy the system and the move that is around you, and for some reason you presume or you assume that you're part of the progress. Yet in actual sense, it's progressing and you're just seated right there. Yeah. So I didn't want to settle for less, and then I told to myself, I need to do this. However hard it's going to look, I have to do this. Reasons why I'm able to do what I do. As June introduced me, I'm a mother of 3, I'm married, I work full-time, and these are not just 3 kids, they're 3 young kids, all of them below the age of 5. So that can really be a daunting task. But I decided to take it on. And the number one reason why I managed to do what I do is, first of all, self-determination. I was 100% determined that I have to get this done. Sometimes the brain is not our best friend. The brain is not our best friend. The brain will keep on telling you otherwise. It will keep on telling you, hey, look, Joy, I started my program last September and my baby was only, what, 2, 3 months old. And everybody I would talk to would be like, are you crazy? Who does that? And plus, that baby had, the older sister is only a year. So I have 2 babies at home. How are you going to do that, Joy? Or even my brain is telling me this. But then I'm like, hey, I will do it. So I was so determined, but of course, determined with some kind of support. So determination is number 1. 2, I enjoy what I'm studying. So it is important. I know we have to study because we want to get jobs or we want to get the social status that I'm educated, but you have to figure out what the passion and what you like. So one of the reasons that helps me do what I do is because I actually enjoy what I'm studying right now. When I'm studying, it's so real and so practical, and I know 1 year or 2 years down the road, I'm going to be able to actually use this knowledge that I've acquired to change the lives of people. 3 is prioritization. You need to prioritize. I cannot say this any better, but yes, in the morning you're going to do this. In 2 hours later, this. No minute is wasted in my home, at least for me. Every minute for me counts for me to get this done. Number 3, time management. Now, for those who are close to me and know me, I am a social being. I love being around people. I love laughing. I love just being around people. And when I started this program, I thought to myself, I have to cut this back. That's why Emery and Alice and Nicole, that's why I'm not yet in CARY. My apologies, but when I'm done, I'll come. So I had to cut all this back. I'm one person who barely says no. If somebody approaches me and says, Joy, can you do this for me? It's so hard for me to say no. But I learned to do that because I knew where I wanted to get. So certain things you have to change in your life, get out of your comfort zone if you gotta acquire what you have to achieve. Fourth or fifth is family. I have family support. I'm married to this guy who really allowed me to even do this, because think about it, you are a mother with these kids, so you have to have the right supports in place. Not just him, I have my sister, I have my family back home. My dad, my mom, they always call me every weekend. How are you doing? We are praying for you. Things are going to be just fine. So family support. I also, the final one, the main reason. I made it last intentionally because it's really the main reason. I mean, if you're going to have to do all that, what I've told you, you need supernatural powers, don't you? I know that I'm doing this because of God's guidance. Because even before I embarked on this journey, I knew I was in position to do so many, I have the capacity to pursue whatever, law, social work, psychology, whatever it is, name it. But then I had to figure it out. I just don't want to start school today, and then before I know it, it's money and time wasted, and then jump into another program, ESLS. So God has really, really been on my side, and I do not want to take this as a cliche, because probably you think, they always talk about God, but no. For me to be able to really do what I'm doing, God endows me with the strength. I don't know where it comes from, but that strength. But of course, coupled with all what I've told you. So that is it in a nutshell. But if you're to forget everything else that I've said, please just remember that it is always impossible until it is done. So jump on it, whatever it is that you want to do, jump on it.